you lovely learners in Learning Land. Tyler from TenThumbsPro.com coming at you with another ukulele tutorial like we do every single Wednesday and Saturday. Today we're doing Under the Bridge by Red Hot Chili Peppers. All the tabs on the screen, everything you need to learn this lovely song. But you can get a printable version of the tabs for this lesson and all our lessons by becoming a Patreon with links in the notes. You'll also see a link to the Chord Melody playlist. If you like this kind of content, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a lesson. But if you came just because you're ready to learn this tune, that's cool. Skype lessons one-on-one as well. Email me for information. Grab the ukulele, brain and attention span, and we're headed under the bridge. Let's do it. Come on in. Alright, so this song has a lot of pieces, and none of them are going to be easy. This is maybe the hardest song that we've done to date, but just like Space Oddity, once you get it, all the changes, very, very cool. Let's start with the intro, and we'll put up the first 4 measures to the intro. Intro for the first bar, first beat, you're going to need to make this D shape. Bar that 2nd fret, get your pinky on the 5th fret here, and you're going to pluck with your thumb on the C string and your middle finger, the high A. After, you're going to get your index finger and play that 2nd fret of the E string, and then thumb onto the G. Immediately after, index 2nd fret, middle finger, 1st fret, and then back to the G. Keeping all that bar down, you're going to get your ring finger on the 4th fret, remove it to play the 2nd fret, pinky 5th fret, ring finger 4th fret, and then you slide to this shape here that looks like a G, but it's actually an F sharp. Move your G, everything down 1 fret. You're not going to play this high G string on this part, and the next measure will sound like this. I love that part. So just those 2 measures. Well, really quick, the 2nd measure, pointer finger, E string, thumb, and then you're gonna go thumb, index, thumb, C, E, C, and then middle finger, high A string, index finger, 2nd fret here, and then you'll run up ring finger, 9th fret, pointer finger 7, pinky 10, ring 9, boom, to the top of the 3rd bar. So we get So let's take a look at the 3rd bar. 3rd bar is going to start off the same. Plucking those 2, pointer finger E string, thumb G string, pointer finger. But then you're going to jump up to the 5th fret here and you're going to hammer on and pull off. 5, 7 hammer, pull back to 5, and then open A, your middle finger, 2nd fret C string, ring finger 2nd fret, immediately slide 2 to 4, and then hit 4, 4 again, and then back to that F sharp shape. So we get, so just that 3rd beat, 3rd measure. Back to this F sharp. Pointer finger E string, thumb on the C string, E string, C string, middle finger high A, back to the E string, and then our move again. So just those 4 measures, first 4 measures. So just our first 4 measures. Okay, and then we're in the second 4 measures. Now the intro is 8 bars, and the next 4 measures are the exact same as the first 4 with the exception of the very last measure. So let's jump to the 4th bar of what we have up there. We're going to go 2, 1, 2 frets, not strings, pointer finger C string, and I'm making that F sharp shape again, pointer finger C string, thumb, pointer finger, thumb, and then we have this. We're going to do middle finger on the A string, pointer on the C, E, thumb on the C, and then that motion will repeat itself. So that last measure we hit. All right, so why don't we try to put all 8 of these together? Really get that first 4 measures down to where you can almost play it without looking before you even try this other one, and then practice that last measure independently like I taught you, and then put them together. And then we get and then we jump into the verse. Okay, so the verse, we got some cool stuff going on. Let's bring up the first 4 measures. All right, so now we have entered the verse. We are going to need an E major. I'm going to show you the chords, but we're going to play them a little different when it comes to the chord melody because we're not going to necessarily need this A string a lot. B major, C sharp minor, but we're never actually going to make this particular chord shape, or at least not until after the verse. F sharp minor, and an A major. Our first measure sounds like this. What I'm doing is I'm making the E major, but I'm only strumming these 4, 4, 4. I'm not worried about this string here. So I'm gonna strum down with my thumb. Well, I'm gonna give it a little, actually my index finger, excuse me. And I'm gonna just keep it short and staccato. After I hit it, I'll release the pressure, and then I'm gonna play this note here, the 4th fret of the E string, 3 times. 1 and 2 and 3. So I'm gonna make a B major after that, but I'm not playing this E string. So I'm only fretting the 4th fret, the 3rd fret, and the 2nd fret. When I strum through with my thumb, and I get to this F sharp note on the E string, I'm actually going to pull off to play the open E, 3 and 4 and then I'll play that E string 2 more times. So the first measure we get alright, second measure, or I'm playing the 1st fret here, C sharp, so this is functioning as a C sharp minor, and I'm playing the open E string against it, 1 and 2, then I'll make the F sharp minor, and I'll pluck all 3, not really worrying about this A string. I'll remove this ring finger and play the open A after that. So the second measure, put those 2 together, we get So then the next 2 measures, you'll notice that the 3rd measure is very similar to the first. The only difference is the open E note at the end is a quarter tone, not an 8th tone. So it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and. Once you get to that F sharp minor part, you're not going to play the A. You're going to let that go to the 4th beat, and then you'll do 2-0, B, A. Now, his voice is actually singing a low B and a low A. If you have a low G, you want to play B, A on your G string, and it's going to sound even better, all right? 2-0. In fact, with the high G, sometimes I omit that part. So these 4 measures, but I want to show you exactly what they're singing, and you can choose what you want to leave on the cutting room floor. Those 4. So let's play these 4 measures together. And then we're into the next 4. The next 4, we're going to see a lot of repetition and a lot of things that are going to be similar. We're going to give that 4 there a stab, and then on the second beat, we're going to use our thumb to strum through these instead of this because we want the melody to pop. So we get 1 and 2, then you'll play the second beat, or the 2nd fret on the off beat, and then to that B shape and the pull off. So the first measure, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Again, playing this B note on the high G, it will sound better with the low G here. To the next measure, which is the same as the second measure of the first. When learning songs like this, repetition is very welcome. And then, okay, now we're in my favorite bar in the whole song. Let me play it for you once. It sounds like this. Oof. So what we're doing here is hammering 2 to 4 on the E string. Then that index finger will drop down and grab the second fret of the A string. Then you'll bar the entire 4th fret all the way through, because that melody is the C sharp note. 1 and 2 and. You want to grab the second fret of the E there. Then you're gonna make this F shape and try to strum just these 3 strings. And then you're gonna pull off again that same movement we've been doing. 3 and 4 and you'll keep this ring finger down on the 4th fret here to play the B note on the G string on the offbeat and you'll jump into the last measure, which will be pointer finger, 1st fret here, and you're gonna go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Make the A chord, up strum, down strum. So just those second 2 measures, because those are the new ones. We'll get to that in a second. Let's play these 4 together. Okay, and then after that, you're gonna jump up here. You're gonna make this E major, and it's gonna ring out for 2 whole measures. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then on the offbeat, you'll play that A note. So let's play through the entire first half of this verse together. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and. Alright, so let's take a look at the second half of the verse. There's a lot of similarities that we got going on here, but they're not exactly the same. So let's note the minor differences. For example, in the first measure, you're going to notice that once you do the pull-off move, 3 and 4 and, you're going to let that ring. 3 and 4 and. So that first measure, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Second measure, you're going to hit that open A on the offbeat. So you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Alright, so we have that little open A string. The next measure is going to be just like the first one, but you're going to hit that B note there. So you can get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Really similar to the last measure of the first half of the verse, because you're going to do up, down, but again that open A on the offbeat. So these 4 measures, you get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And in the second half of the verse, we're going to see some similarities. For example, the first measure here is the same as the third one in the first half. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. We're not going to hit the open A string here. The third measure is the same as the second to last in the first half. And we finish it the same. So why don't we go ahead and play through the whole second half of the verse, or you can almost consider it like the second verse. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. when you get to that E major 7 there, you can also, if you want to, you can strum it. That's ultimately up to you. Now it's gonna get weird. Let's jump into the chorus. For the chorus, we're going to introduce this F sharp minor shape, barring that 4th fret, 5th fret here, 6, 6 on the G and the C string. And we're gonna give it a 1 E and a 2 and 1 E and a 2 and 3. So I'm doing a down, up there. The melody the whole time is this C sharp. After I give it a down, up, I'm gonna remove my pinky and get my pinky on the 5th fret right here. And I'm gonna strum all the way through. 2nd beat, 2, and I'm gonna remove my pinky and being just this 4th fret here. So those first 2 beats of the first measure really slow. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and. You're gonna then on the 3rd beat bar the entire 4th fret with your ring finger. 3 and on the off beat grab the 2nd fret of the B or the A string. And then while you're holding that, you're gonna make this E chord here. This can be tricky, but it's very rewarding. Really slow. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and. Down, up, down. Okay, that measure one more time. 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and boom. Make that B, and the B is gonna come in on the 1st beat of the next measure. You're gonna go 1, 2, and open A string. No melody on those first 2 beats. 1, 2, and open A. Then you're gonna make an F sharp minor, but you're also gonna get this pinky down here on the 2nd fret of the A string. Strum all the way through so you get open A, fret the 2nd fret, and then you're gonna go make that shape we did earlier, play the 4th fret, and then strum through. So the 2nd measure, really slow. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Then on the offbeat there, I like to release the pressure here and give a muted on the offbeat of the 4. One more time. 1, 2, and 3, and 4, and. So those 2 measures, we get 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 E and a 2 and 3 and 4 E and 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and. And that's the chorus, all right? So that's gonna happen 4 times. So let's play it together 4 times. That is so tasty. That is so cool. Playing the song gets me pumped up. It's a really pretty song. From there, we're gonna jump into the chorus's outro, all right? The outro of the chorus, it's a 4-bar loop. Everything you see is the whole thing. The first measure, we're gonna, and that's really an E, but I'm just kind of trying to hit those first 4 strings. 1, 2, and 3, 4 E and a. So we're doing just those first 3. You could do a full E shape if you wanted to. You're gonna go 1, mute the 2nd beat, change on the off beat, and then when you get to the 4th beat, down, up, 4 E and a. So that first measure you get 1, 2, and 3, 4 E and a, 1. Make this C sharp minor. You're gonna strum through with no melody, and you're gonna pluck this G sharp here on the way down, or on the way up. 1 and 2 and. So you're gonna go 1 and 2 and, remove that chord, play that E note, open string, make an A chord, and strum with your thumb through there. So you get 1, 2, and, excuse me, so you get 1 and 2 and 3, flea. From there, bar 3 is the same as 1, and bar 4 is the same rhythm as bars 1 and 3. We've removed the melody C sharp, down, mute, change to A, down, down, up, down, up. So those 4 measures you get 1, 2, and 3, flea, 1 and 2 and 3, flea, 1, 2, and 3, flea, 1, 2, and 3, flea. All right, one more time, no counting. And then we get into this really cool bridge. For the really cool bridge, it's basically the same rhythm we were doing, going A to A minor, E minor 7, F. I've heard G there, but my ears are hearing a minor chord there. I've seen some tabs that write that E minor 7 as a G. And essentially, without all the strumming, without the melody, anything like that, you get 1, 2, and 3, 4, 1, 2, and 3, 4. But we want to hear that noise. So what we're going to do is make that A and get our pinky on the 4th fret, and we're going to strum with our thumb all the way through and then mute. 1, 2, and. Remove your index finger and slide your pinky over. 1, 2, and 3, 4, E and A. E minor 7, 1, 2, and 3, 4, E and A. Okay, so we get 1, 2, and 3, 4, E and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, E and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, E and A, 1, 2, and, well, there's a little change here, sorry. When we get to this 4th measure up here, E minor 7, we're not going to mute, we're going to go 1, 2, and play that 3rd fret there before the F. So that 4th measure, the one over here, 1, 2, and, sorry, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A. So those 4, we get 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A. All right, next 4 measures. The first 2 sound exactly the same as the last 2. 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A, 1, 2, and 3, 4, and A. F major 7, bar that 5th fret, ring finger 7th fret, all 16ths for a whole measure, so it's down, up, and that happens 4 times. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and A, 4 E and A. 8 down ups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and A, 4 E and A. In E7, bar the 4th fret, middle finger on the 5th. This will be half that time. 1 E and A, 2 E and A. And then a G here, coming from this G shape, but we're going to try to hit just that 7. 3 and A, 4 E and A. So you get 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and A, 4 E and A, 1 E and A, 2 E and A, 3 and A, 4 E and A. And then we jump into the chorus that functions as the outro with the under the bridge downtown, with the chorus in the background, the choral part being the vocal part. So those 4 measures we get. So let's take a look at the last chorus. Timing wise, this is the trickiest part in the song. We're going to start off with an A, bar that 4th fret, middle finger on the 5th fret of the E string, ring finger on the 6th fret of the G string, and get your pinky on that 7th fret. We're going to give it a 1 E and, down, up, down. Then we got to grab that 10th fret right there. From there, you're gonna let that ring out, and it's gonna be on the offbeat, like 1 E and Then the 2 doesn't happen, it's like 2 and. Then on the and, you're gonna put your pointer finger 7th fret of the A string. Then you make this A minor shape, which is 7, 8, 9. And from there, you're gonna strum through, and this is on the 3rd beat, 3, and then you're gonna get your pinky on that 4th fret, the 10th fret of the E string. Then on the 4th beat, I like to give it a little slide there. So really slow. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. All right. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and. Then it's going to be a rest on the 1, and you make an E minor, but you have this C in here. So I go 1 and, do an up strum, then get over to the 5th fret, 5, 3, and on the 2nd beat, completely bar that 5th fret. So that 2nd fret, you get 1 and 2 and 3, ring finger, 7th fret, 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Those 2 together really slow. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Okay, one more time. 1 E and 2. Oops. 1 E and 2 and 3 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. The next 2 measures are a little different. You're going to see that we're going to play just at the very end. We're going to go 1 and 2. So there's just 1 extra 7th fret on that. You get 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So those 4 measures together. All right, and then we get into the next 4 of this chorus, but the good thing about that is the next 4 are all exactly the same as the first 2. All right, so that is that last chorus. Why don't we play all 8 of those measures together? And then we're in the outro. Good news is the outro is familiar. When we get to the outro, what we're going to do is we're going to play the A, A minor, down, up, down, up. And that's going to happen 8 times. The exact same thing as the outro that we've already seen from the first chorus. You'll see here, sometimes I do that 3, and sometimes I don't. You could even omit that part if you wanted to. And then after doing this all, I'm gonna finish on an A chord. So the outro, we get 1, 2, and 3, 4 E and a 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 1, 2, and 3. And believe it or not, folks, that is the entire song. If I do a play along, this video is going to be 45 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and let you learn each of those pieces individually, and later on in this week, after you've had some time to practice, I'll do a full play along with the tabs up on the screen, all right? Okay, until next time, keep on rocking and rolling. I hope you dig what we're doing here at TenThumbs. Life is good, and life is good. Catch you soon. Cool, everybody, so that was the whole song. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. Make sure you subscribe, ring the bell so you never miss a lesson. Check out the Chord Melody playlist. Think about becoming a Patreon. It will accelerate your learning. TenThumbs t-shirts in those notes as well. Grab one and let them know where you learned the song. And we'll see you next Wednesday or Saturday for our next ukulele tutorial. Have a lovely weekend, and try not to draw any blood under the bridge. Not a good place to be. Take care. Peace.